Liver mush is a unique regional pork dish that can only be found in a small area of North Carolina. Liver mush is made by mixing pork scraps, pork liver, cornmeal, and spices, which are then formed into a brick. The most common way to prepare liver mush is to cut the brick into half-inch slices and fry them in butter. These slices are often served alone or in between two halves of biscuit with yellow mustard or grape jelly. The production of liver mush has been industrialized in the last century by local companies such as Max Liver Mush and Meats in Shelby, North Carolina, and Niece's in Greensboro, North Carolina. But before liver mush was mass-produced, it was made at home. This food tradition is thought to have been brought to Western North Carolina by German immigrants. Germans, like many other Europeans, came to America hoping to build their lives without poverty or persecution. Many Germans first settled in Pennsylvania, but then journeyed to the Appalachian Mountains of North Carolina. According to the United States Census of 1792, approximately 20,000 Germans were living in North Carolina. This makes up 5% of the population at the time. These Germans took an old dish, Panhaus, from their homeland and made the old recipe work for the New World. Panhaus developed into scrapple in Pennsylvania and into liver mush in North Carolina. Liver mush is a dish that was developed out of necessity. In rural regions, nothing is left to waste when what you have was often all you had. This need became even greater during the Great Depression and World War II. Using everything you had became a priority. But even after this period, the love of liver mush did not subside. The people living in this small area continued to make liver mush for pure enjoyment and the love for it. However, outside of this small area, there is little love to be found for liver mush. The very name makes some people gag without even tasting it. Many would politely say it's an acquired taste, while others would outright refuse it. Compared to its cousin, liver pudding, liver mush has not found widespread popularity and was often associated with the poorer classes of society. This may be because of the difference in ingredients used in liver mush and liver pudding. Mush is made using cornmeal, which was seen as an uncivilized food by many outsiders. Missionaries and other northerners brought white flour into the Appalachian Mountains in order to modernize the cooking methods and recipes of the mountain people. White flour is used in place of cornmeal in liver pudding and results in a thinner, soup-like consistency. This bias against the use of cornmeal may play a role in outsiders viewing liver mush as an undesirable food. Also, the name itself may cause some to begin drive heaving. Liver is not a food that many Americans would find appealing, and most people would not want the food that they are about to put in their mouth described as mush. But on the other hand, in high cuisine restaurants today, liver is an ingredient found in some of the most expensive dishes on the menu, but is very seldom a part of the name of the dish. Americans may eat liver in this setting because of the ambiance and exoticness of the situation, whereas being given a liver mush sandwich at a gas station might throw a red flag for some people. Nowadays, liver mush can be purchased from local Walmarts to be made at home, and liver mush sandwiches and biscuits can be ordered at many breakfast bars and gas stations. Even with its mainstream availability, much of liver mush's popularity remains with the older population and those who have grown up eating it. The younger generation has replaced liver mush with easier breakfast options. The fast-paced lives that Americans live often does not allow the time that it takes to prepare a proper nutritious breakfast, leaving foods such as liver mush, eggs, and grits in the wake of pre-made, reheatable foods. Even with this shift towards easier breakfast routines, those who grew up eating liver mush still can't live without it. Because liver mush is only available in a very small region of North Carolina, there are very few mentions of it in literature. In Jan Karen's Mitford series, the poor white family living in western North Carolina sits down many mornings to find a breakfast of liver mush. This representation of liver mush shows it being a poor man's food. These poor white Southerners eat liver mush not because they like it, though they might, but because that is what they can afford. This again shows the dichotomy of liver mush being a representation of economic standing. Another mention shows the hesitation outsiders feel towards the unusual delicacy. While working at a local breakfast bar, the Ohio native main character in Jacqueline Spangler's short story, What I Saw From There, is appalled when she serves a customer a liver mush and onion sandwich. Because of liver mush's regionalization, very few outsiders have ever had any experience with it or have even heard of it. There are similarly unappetizing dishes across the country, but there is something about liver mush that seems more disgusting and inappropriate to people. As for liver mush's representation in cookbooks, again, the resources are very limited. But in James Vallis's cookbook, Southern Fried, he includes a recipe for Carolina fried liver mush. This recipe tells how to make liver mush from scratch using modern ingredients such as pork belly instead of the meat from the head. This cookbook is from a contemporary cook for contemporary customers. Vallis starts out the recipe by giving a description of Shelby, North Carolina's annual Liver Mush Festival and encourages readers to try liver mush before they judge it. This representation of liver mush is beneficial to its reputation. Through this cookbook, the author is expanding the knowledge of not only liver mush, but also in how to make liver mush when this skill is being lost to the convenience of pre-made store-bought liver mush. Liver mush is a tradition that should never be lost to the hustle and bustle of modern times, but should be encouraged not only by Western North Carolinians, but outsiders as well. This food is a representation of the region's history and of those who shaped it. Cookbook authors like James Vallis and liver mush producers like Max help to keep this tradition alive by spreading the knowledge of this food and by making it available to those who otherwise may not have been able to enjoy it. So the next time you hear someone talking about liver mush, or you are in a restaurant that happens to be selling it, try it. You just might like it.